Why is learning English so difficult? Why so hard to become fluent? I want to talk to you about the learning cycle. There are 4 stages in this cycle. Probably you will have gone through each one of them at some point in your life. If you know how to drive a car, trust me, you have gone through all the stages of the learning cycle. Stage number 1. This is the stage where we are unconsciously incompetent. I prefer to call it I don't know that I don't know. Basically, when we want to learn something of which we don't know anything, we are unconsciously incompetent. We don't know that we don't know. For example, learning English, when you start your learning process, you think, I'm going to learn English. This is going to be great. You are possibly very motivated. Yes? Then we move on to the second stage, which is consciously incompetent. Okay, you've started to learn English and suddenly, consciously, you realize that there are so many things that you don't know. Yes? So this is when you become very frustrated. This is where a lot of people give up and they decide to quit. I call this stage, I know that I don't know. Oh, I know that I know nothing. What you have to do, you have to continue with your learning process. At this stage, you shouldn't quit. It's not easy. You have to continue and move towards the third stage, which is being consciously competent. This is when you know things, yeah, and you know that you know them. For example, I know a lot of grammar. I know a lot of vocabulary. However, despite the fact that you know, you don't use it. Yeah, a lot of people study grammar, study vocabulary, but they are not able to speak the language fluently. Why? Because they haven't moved to the fourth stage, which is being unconsciously competent. I also call this stage, I don't know why I know. So in order to get to stage number 4, you have to work a lot on stage number 3. What do I mean? Once you acquire the knowledge, once you learned the grammar and the vocabulary, you have to repeat that over and over and over. You have to practice and practice and practice. Immerse yourself in the language. Everything that you know, you have to put it into practice because learning is incomplete if you don't move from the knowledge point. You have to do something with that knowledge. You have to practice, put it into practice over and over and over. So once you put that into practice so many times, you are going to start using it without realizing. This is like when you drive a car at the beginning. You have to be conscious about everything. There are so many things that you need to control. You need to control the wheel. You need to control the pedals, the traffic, the people on the street. But over time, after repeating that action so many times, then you do things naturally. You don't have to think about anything. You just drive. So it has become natural because you have repeated it so many times that your brain has got into the habit of driving. So the same thing happens with the language. You have to repeat that knowledge. You have to put it into practice. And then you move towards the stage number 4, being unconsciously competent. At this point, your brain doesn't have to think. You just know. You do things naturally. I call this stage the thinking in English without thinking. What does that mean? Well, it means that you are able to think in English, but you don't have to think because your brain does it naturally. It has become a habit. You have repeated that so many times that your brain doesn't have to think about it. However, you are able to think in English and speak fluently. Tell me, where are you? In which part of the learning cycle are you at the moment? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Thanks for watching. And remember, Learning is a cycle. Every step takes you closer to your goals. If you have found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave me any comments. At which stage are you in the learning cycle? I'd love to hear from you. Let's keep learning together.